Have you ever tried to start clean eating but failed because you couldn't maintain it or it didn't make you feel good? Well, don't worry, because by the end of this video, you're going to have 15 healthy eating tips that are going to help you improve your health and lose weight. And the best part is that these tips make eating healthy so easy that it won't feel like you're on a diet or holding back from eating what you want. But I will warn you, if you want this to be really easy, you don't want to skip the last two because they have made the biggest difference in my life, and I think they will for your life too. Tip number one is to stop counting calories. I may have surprised you here, but counting calories is not going to help you eat healthy, improve your health, or lose weight. It may help in the short term, especially if you are used to going out to eat a lot or eating a lot of pre-prepared foods like frozen food meals, but in the long term, it is going to fail you over and over again. Why? Because it fails to address where the calories are coming from. The calories from an avocado are so different for your body than the calories that come from a fast food burger. It also fails to address you as a unique individual. Are you starting to lift weights at the gym? This can boost your metabolism and make you feel more hungry and thus require you to eat more. Ladies, what stage of your menstrual cycle are you in? The week before your period, you're probably going to feel more hungry and thus eat more than during the week of your period. Counting calories also messes up your relationship with food and your body. Eating food is a pleasurable activity, and counting calories can take this away from you because it forces you to overthink your food. It can, over time, cause you to fear food and eating. It limits your social get-togethers with friends and family, and it causes you to ignore your own hunger cues. So don't make the mistake of thinking that solely counting calories is healthy. It is not. Remember that the person who figured out the general formula of how many calories that you should be consuming in a day was created by someone who doesn't personally know you, your body, or what season of life you're in. Counting calories is not the only thing that you should stop doing in order to eat healthy. If you struggle with how many macros you should eat, then you are going to love this next tip. Tip number two is to stop restricting macronutrients. Macronutrients are your carbs, fats, and proteins. We need all of them every single day. They are each equally important for your body, and they all have crucial physiological functions that contribute to your health and help your body function the way that it was designed to. For example, carbs are your body's preferred energy source. They prevent constipation, they act as a food source for the healthy bacteria within your gut, and they also contain micronutrients like B vitamins, vitamin C, antioxidants, and potassium. Fats help you absorb the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K from your foods. They provide temperature insulation and protection to your organs. They support healthy cognitive function. They help balance blood sugar levels, healthy hormone levels for reproductive functions and stress responses, and healthy weight management because they help you feel full and satiated so that you are not constantly hungry and eating all throughout the day. And proteins provide structural support. They help reactions happen much quicker in the body. I'm referring to enzymes here. They are the building blocks of many hormones like thyroid hormone and insulin. And they are also involved in cellular repair and regeneration like forming blood cells and making antibodies. So as you can see, we need all of them. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people making is that they think that by restricting carbs or fats that they are eating healthy. But restricting an entire macronutrient is not beneficial for your body and it is not sustainable. A big thing that people don't realize is that you cannot outsmart your body long term. Your body is an incredibly smart supercomputer, and it's going to tell you through symptoms if something is not right, and it will compensate when need be because it is designed to keep you alive. That's why these ultra restrictive diets don't work long term. Now, if you're like, Marissa, I don't get it. There are so many recommendations out there to avoid carbs, to avoid fats, and I'm so confused. Well, if this is you, then keep watching for tip 3 because that is going to clarify your confusion. Tip 3 is to raise your food standards. So we just talked about how important it is to eat all 3 of the macronutrients. Now, when we start to look at what foods are listed in each category and their nutrient profile, we see that they are not all equal in health quality. For example, carbohydrates include apples, bananas, berries, pumpkin, sweet potatoes, and whole grains, which are all foods that contain lots of healthy nutrients that can promote and improve your health. But also included in the list of carbohydrates is high fructose corn syrup, refined white sugar, and refined white flour. Another example is with fats. The omega-3 fatty acids that are found in avocados, salmon, chia seeds, flax seeds, and walnuts will support heart health, cognitive function, eye health, joint health, and even mental health. But foods that contain hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated vegetable seed oils contain trans fats, which raise your bad LDL cholesterol, lower your good HDL cholesterol, and increase your risk of developing heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. So a huge mistake that I see people make is that they don't take the quality of the macronutrient into consideration. Another mistake that I see people making all the time is that because they are so focused on calories and how many macronutrients are present, they put their focus on the nutrition facts label, where instead what they really need to do is just shift their focus down a little bit to the ingredient list. There you will be able to assess the quality of the food product and determine if it is going to help you improve your health or if it is going to sabotage your healthy eating efforts. The thing that you should look at the nutrition facts label for is how much sodium is present. Now, if you don't know how to read an ingredient list, then that's okay, because I'm about to show you how in the next tip. Tip number 4 is to learn how to read ingredient lists. So the first ingredient listed is present in the largest amount, and the last ingredient listed is present in the smallest amount. And everything in between is listed in descending order. A general rule that you can use is the smaller the list, the better. And are the ingredients listed recognizable? Does it make sense that they're in there? And do you need an organic chemistry background in order to understand and pronounce the words? You've got your phone with you. Google the ingredient listed if you do not know what it is. A mistake that I see people making all the time with this tip is that they are just not reading through ingredient lists. It doesn't take too long to do, especially once you get comfortable doing so, and it's going to help you improve your health and lose weight. If you're wondering how learning to read an ingredient list is going to help you improve your health and lose weight, then keep watching for tip 5. Tip number 5 is to cook the majority of your meals and snacks at home from scratch. I say from scratch because it forces you to eat and cook with real foods, meaning foods that don't contain an ingredient list and foods that are minimally processed. You know if a food is processed by whether or not it contains an ingredient list on the package. A bag of walnuts at the grocery store is technically considered a processed food because it has an ingredient list which reads walnuts. A bag of uncooked brown rice has an ingredient list, and that reads brown rice. So not all processed foods are unhealthy. That's why it is so important to know how to read an ingredient list so that you can make an educated decision on what foods you want to buy and consume. Now, I personally don't consider it realistic to think that you can make everything that you and your family eat from scratch all of the time. In a perfect world, yes, but we are not living in a perfect world. We are living in a busy, hectic, stressful world, and we are all different. So what you need to do is just figure out what's most important for you to cook at home from scratch and what foods you're okay with buying pre-made at the grocery store. For example, this past year, I really made it a priority in my schedule to make homemade sourdough bread. I can't find healthy bread at my local grocery stores, so I decided that it was well worth my time and my energy to make it at home from scratch. But I can find healthy applesauce at my grocery store, and I can find healthy yogurt at my grocery store. So I don't need to make those at home from scratch unless I really want to, but I don't need to. So take a look at what's available to you and how much it costs. I will say that making food at home from scratch is an affordable way to eat healthy, but you have to balance that with how much time you have and prioritize what means the most to you. If you are struggling to figure out how to make time in your schedule to meal prep and cook your meals, then keep watching for tip number 6. Tip number 6 is to block out time in your schedule to meal prep and go grocery shopping. Benjamin Franklin said that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You can have the best intentions, but if you are not prepared, then you are going to end up grabbing something quick and convenient, like going out to eat, ordering takeout, eating whatever is in the break room at work, or getting something at a vending machine. So there are many ways that you can go about doing this, and there isn't a right or wrong answer here. Essentially, do what works best for you and for your schedule. I know some people who like to plan out every single meal that they are going to eat throughout the week, and I know some who like to stock their kitchen with food staples and then cook up something based off of what they are craving and what foods they have on hand. Personally, I like a combination of the two. I typically eat the same breakfast, lunch, and snack each day during the week. I enjoy it, I don't find it boring, and it makes grocery shopping and meal prepping easy because I know what I need to buy, I know what I need to do, and it just frees up like mental energy because I don't have to think about it. I like to meal prep snacks, desserts, and sourdough breads on the weekends. I like to prep my lunch each night after dinner. And then when it comes to dinner, I like to be more creative and experiment. I find it enjoyable and relaxing after a long day. So I don't really meal prep this unless I have meetings in the evening and I wouldn't have time to cook otherwise. So in those situations, I will pack up a dinner to go, and it's usually leftovers from a dinner that I made the night before. A mistake I see people make here is that they say that they just don't have any time for this. Now, regardless of the reason why you may think that, this is so important for your health and for your life. I can't stress that enough. So you really need to figure out how to make time for it. And odds are you actually have more time in your day than you realize. Take a day or two and take note of what you do and how you spend your time. And honestly ask yourself, was I busy or was I productive? Is there something that I can shift around in my schedule to make cooking happen? Activities like scrolling Instagram and TikTok for an hour before you go to sleep at night or watching hours of TV on the weekends is precious time that you could be using to meal prep and to set yourself up for success during the week. Now, if you are someone who struggles with food temptations, then tip 7 is going to help you solve that problem. Tip number 7 is to get the junk food out of the house. If you are serious about wanting to improve your eating habits, then you have got to get the junk food out of the house. Junk food is addictive by design, and it's not your fault. Food companies know all the tricks to make it so that it is hard to stop eating it once you've begun and to continue to crave it even after you're done eating. A huge mistake I see people make here is that they think that they can keep it in the house and they justify it by saying that eating anything in moderation is okay, and they truly believe that they are going to have enough willpower to just eat a little bit of it when they do eat it. And listen, I understand the thinking here. I've made the same deals with myself before, but here's the thing. Willpower is connected to your motivation to wanting to eat healthy, and motivation is the worst thing to rely on because it is highly connected to your emotions. You have a bad day at work, a bad conversation with a friend, a fight with your significant other, the computer is not working, you can't connect to the Wi-Fi, you forgot your password, they make you change it like for the 30th time in the last 2 months. Whatever it is, many of us can turn to food to help us feel better emotionally, and in those moments, healthy eating can just fly right out the window. In those moments, you just want to eat to feel better. And I am not judging you here. I know what this feels like. I have been through it myself, and I used to make this mistake all the time. But if you really want to be successful in improving your eating habits, really the best thing that you can do here is just to get the junk food out of the house. Remember, out of sight, out of mind. And make a commitment to yourself that you are not going to order takeout and have it delivered. Honor yourself by following through on the commitment that you have made to yourself to eat healthier. Instead, pray about what's bothering you, journal, go for a walk, lie down and deeply breathe, listen to some music, diffuse some essential oils, do some other healthy stress-relieving activity, and over time, you will train your brain to stop the emotional eating cycle. And if you really need to eat something, then opt for healthy comfort foods, like a homemade grass-fed burger with avocado and sliced tomato with some oven-roasted sweet potato fries. I know this is hard, but you can do this and you are stronger than you think. Now, if you struggle with how much sugar you eat, then tip 8 is going to help you get rid of that issue. Tip 8 is to stop consuming added sugar in your foods. Added sugar is everywhere. Meals, yogurts, condiments, hummus, drinks, applesauce, deli meats, pickles, salad dressings, chips, pretzels, sauces, gravies, soups, and breads. I mean, the list is endless, and we as a society are over-consuming sugar. You can find most of these foods without added sugar, and for those that you can't find, you can make at home or swap in a healthier alternative. A big mistake to avoid here is opting for alternatives made with artificial sweeteners. Don't do it. These foods taste really good without added sugar or artificial sweeteners. Another mistake is not giving your taste buds time to adjust to the way real foods taste. If you are constantly eating high amounts of added sugar in your foods, then you are going to really taste a difference for the foods without added sugar. Initially, they won't taste sweet enough, but hang in there. Over time, as you continue to eat foods without added sugar, your taste buds will adapt, and the foods that are supposed to be sweet, like just naturally, you will find them plenty sweet all on their own, and you won't need added sugar in them. And you'll find that the products that do contain added sugar are overly sweet and not in a good way. And I'm willing to bet that once you get your taste buds changed over, you're actually going to start preferring the foods without the added sugar. Now, if you're struggling with blood sugar balance, then tip 9 is for you. Tip 9 is to pair carbohydrates with fat and protein to help balance your blood sugar levels. Whether or not you are struggling with type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes due to insulin resistance, you want to balance your blood sugar. This is going to help you improve your energy levels, promote hormonal balance, have clearer skin, better digestion, and help your body manage its stress hormone cortisol. Aim to consume some fat and protein with your carbohydrates to help prevent blood sugar spikes. Don't make the mistake of failing to realize how much your health will improve when you start to balance your blood sugar levels. So start doing this from the get-go. Leave the peel on the apple and eat it with a nut or seed butter, or leave the skin on the potato when you make mashed potatoes or even oven roasted potatoes. Now, if you think that you need to skip meals or snacks in order to eat healthy and improve your health, then you need to listen to tip number 10. Tip 10 is to eat at routine eating times. Your body loves routines, it loves schedules, and just like it likes to go to sleep and wake up around the same time each day, your body also likes to eat around the same times each day. A mistake I see people make here is that they intentionally skip meals. If you skip meals, what ends up happening is that you get over hungry, and healthy eating can easily go right out the window. Your body is going to want you to eat a lot, eat it quickly, and eat something really heavy. For example, if you skip breakfast, then instead of being satisfied with a salad for lunch, you're probably going to end up craving pizza and ice cream. And always have healthy snacks on you for when you get hungry in between meals. If you struggle with overeating or you don't know how much to eat in order to improve your health and to lose weight, then keep watching for tip 11. Tip 11 is to eat until you are 80% full and then stop and walk away. This requires you to be more mindful when you are eating and tune into your hunger cues. When you feel like you're 80% full, put your fork down, push the plate a little bit forward. You're signaling to your brain when you do this that you are full and you are done eating for the time being. You can always go back later and eat more. A mistake I see many make is that they put the main platter of food on the table. When it's right in front of you, it is so easy to just keep eating, especially from the main dish. So always put your food in your individual dish and keep it off the main table. So this way, if you want to eat more, which is totally fine if you're actually hungry, you actually have to get up to get a second helping. And a second helping, again, isn't unhealthy if you're really still hungry. What this does is that it helps you prevent overeating and feeling uncomfortably full and bloated. It also helps you to make sure that you are eating enough. Many people who are trying to eat healthy make the mistake of not eating enough food. So instead of following a listed serving size, you are instead listening to your body's hunger cues and allowing yourself to really nourish your body. Now, a key factor to healthy eating long-term is to look at what you consume every day. If you are struggling with what food changes you need to make, then you are going to love this next tip. Tip 12 is to look at what you eat every day. We are creatures of habit, and what we eat all the time is going to impact our health more than what we eat every once in a while. This is where the 80-20 principle comes into play. The foods that you're eating the most often are what is in your 80%, and the foods that you eat every once in a while are in your 20%. Don't make the mistake of thinking that this is about dieting. The 80-20 principle is about balancing nutrition and enjoyment, which are two things that are very necessary for healthy eating long-term without restrictive dieting, as well as healthy weight management. Now, if you're thinking that healthy eating is just about the foods that you're consuming, then you would be wrong. Watch the next tip, as it may be the reason why your health isn't improving despite making healthy food changes. Tip 13 is to look at what you are drinking habitually. What you drink every day is majorly impacting your health and your weight. I am about to create some haters here, but I don't care, it needs to be said. First up is coffee. Coffee itself isn't unhealthy. It's all the things that we add into it that we need to pay attention to. Many flavored coffees are done so artificially, and they are loaded with sugar, either from creamers, the whipped cream on top, sweetened plant-based milks, and drizzled chocolate and caramel, like all throughout the coffee, even on top of the whipped cream. It looks pretty, but it's literally a health nightmare for your body. Soda and sweet teas are drinks that you may be drinking every day, and they are loaded in highly processed sugars, and they are wreaking havoc on your insulin levels. Juices, even ones that don't contain added sugar, lack fiber, and so they can spike your glucose levels too. Energy drinks are another beverage that you may be consuming every day, even multiple times a day, and the majority of them are very unhealthy for you. Alcohol is another drink that you may be consuming every day that may be high in sugar, and it can negatively affect your weight, especially if you're having multiple servings. Mistakes I see here are that people just don't want to give these beverages up, and so they instead switch over to ones that are made with artificial sweeteners. These are going to be the diet products. Even some products that aren't listed as diet may still contain these. So again, read those ingredient labels. Artificial sweeteners are not your friends, and they negatively impact your health, especially your gut health. Another mistake I see people making is that they don't realize how so much caffeine intake in a day is negatively affecting their food choices and their weight. If you are consuming multiple cups of caffeinated coffee, energy drinks, and or sodas, you are consuming a lot of caffeine in a day, which isn't beneficial for your heart. It can make you anxious, and it is causing a high amount of cortisol in your body, which is your stress hormone. You aren't going to be getting a good night's sleep, which perpetuates the constant fatigue that you are feeling, and then you just keep reaching for the caffeinated drinks, and the cycle just keeps going and just keeps continuing. And because you feel tired, you're going to crave high sugary foods and highly processed foods, which, as we talked about earlier, isn't going to help you improve your health or lose weight. And in fact, the opposite is going to happen. Your health is going to decline. Over time, you can develop a chronic health condition like type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure, anxiety, and obesity. So instead, opt for water, hot coffee, club soda, one coffee in the day, sweetened with a little local honey or pure maple syrup with milk or unsweetened plant-based milks, iced teas sweetened with honey, or better yet, unsweetened, and limit your consumption of juice. And if you can, organic, fresh pressed juices are going to be best. There are healthier energy drinks available that you can opt for, or you can really address your sleep and how much sugar you're consuming in a day to help your energy levels balance out so that you don't need to constantly pump your body up with so much caffeine. And when it comes to alcohol, I personally don't think that it's healthy to drink it every single day. So I do recommend limiting your consumption of that, or even better yet, you don't have to drink it at all. Now, these last two tips have made the biggest differences for me in my life, and I think they will for your life too. Okay, so now if you're struggling with letting go of eating your favorite meals, don't be. I am not one for restrictive diets. Remember, in tip 14, I'm going to show you how you can eat healthy without feeling like you are giving anything up. Tip 14 is to recreate your favorite foods at home with healthy ingredients. If you love brownies, great. If you love bread and butter, great. If you love burgers and fries, great. There are so many ways to recreate your favorite foods at home with healthy ingredients. Doing this provides you with a long-term solution to healthy eating. I make burgers, roasted potato fries, tacos, breads, frozen yogurt, peanut butter cups, sesame chicken, fried rice, spaghetti and meatballs, and pizza at home all the time. And by the way, you can find healthy recipes for all of these foods here on my channel. I never feel like I'm on a diet or am depriving myself of what I really want. Plus, I am able to maintain a healthy body weight and I feel good and confident in my clothes. Don't make the mistake that I see so many other people make, which is that they think in order to eat healthy and improve their health, they need to stop eating their favorite foods, which is not true. With some simple swaps and adjustments, you can make your favorite recipes at home, improve your health, and maintain a healthy body weight or lose weight if that's your goal. I'm even willing to bet that over time you are going to get so good at making them that you don't even enjoy going out to eat anymore because your food tastes so good and it makes you feel better too. For example, instead of using heavy cream to make macaroni and cheese, you can sub in chicken or vegetable broth. Instead of eating sugary oatmeal, you can have oatmeal naturally sweetened with sliced banana. Instead of pouring dressing on your salad that contains sugar and vegetable seed oils, you can instead easily make one at home without sugar and using avocado oil or extra virgin olive oil. And tip number 15 is by far the tip that made the biggest difference for me to eat healthy and to improve my health, and I know it will for you too, and that is to listen to your body. Not every healthy food is going to be healthy for you. You may have food sensitivities, allergies, other medical conditions that you're managing, health issues that you're trying to improve, so you need to take all of that into consideration. Personally, when I first started to figure out how to best eat healthy for myself, I was very much struggling with my gut health. I had been diagnosed with chronic acid reflux. It's very possible that I also had an ulcer at that time. I was very stressed out. And so when I was adjusting my foods, I at the time consumed more cooked vegetables rather than raw vegetables. I drank warm room temperature water over ice water. I consumed a lot of bone broth. I started to eat yogurt like crazy to get more beneficial bacteria into my colon. I had to eat sprouted whole grains because they were easier to digest. I wish I had homemade sourdough bread at the time because it's fermented, it's lower in gluten and phytic acid, but I was in pharmacy school and there was no way my schedule would have allowed for that. I wasn't eating enough fat because I believed the lie that you needed to avoid fat. And so I started to have more healthy fats in my meals. So shredded coconut, coconut oil, grass-fed butter, grass-fed beef, all of which helped me so much. And then I cut out caffeine. I never really drank alcohol, so that wasn't an issue for me. I avoided tomatoes and oranges and lemon juice. I started to limit my consumption of refined carbs, so like white sugar. I also stopped consuming artificial sweeteners. All that being said, I needed to eat in a special way for that time to help my body heal and to also help me manage those conditions. So all that to say, you know you best and make the choices that are right for you. So those are 15 healthy eating tips to help you have success in improving your eating habits, improving your health, and losing weight. If you want to be successful with improving your health, learning how to cook, making cooking fun again, and forming healthy habits, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. I share videos every single week on these topics. And if you want to learn how to make healthy eating affordable, then click on this video right here for 6 tips on how to eat healthy on a budget. Thank you so much for watching.